Hey, like Muhammad Ali says, the will got to be stronger than the skills. Today wasn't about skills. Today was about will strength. And I knew the type of fighter I was fighting. This guy's a triathlon athlete, for crying out loud. And if I was tired, I knew he was more tired because I worked very hard for this. He's never been 12 rounds before. So we knew we had to break him down. Body shots were hurting him. But this is what it's all about, fighting the best. This is the fight game. You know, this is what we signed for.
The boxing world is in absolute shock right now as Teofimo Lopez just dropped a retirement bombshell that nobody saw coming after his devastating loss to Shakur Stevenson at Madison Square Garden. What was supposed to be the biggest night of Teofimo's career turned into one of the most heartbreaking and emotional moments in recent boxing history, as he announced he's walking away from the sport immediately, just hours after losing to Shakur Stevenson in front of thousands at MSG. Teofimo sat down for a post-fight interview that will go down as one of the most shocking moments of 2026. With visible emotion in his eyes and a defeated tone in his voice, Lopez told the interviewer something that sent shockwaves through the entire combat sports world.
You can't tell me I'm not great. You cannot tell me I'm not the double greatest since Muhammad Ali. This is what I do. This is what I do best. Now, just to steer it up, I might retire after this. Retirement, man. I'm kind of tired.
Teofimo stated with clear pain, "I'm done. I gave everything I had tonight, and it wasn't enough. I can't keep doing this to myself and my family. This is my last fight." The statement came completely out of nowhere, with nobody in attendance or watching at home expecting such a dramatic announcement from the former lightweight champion. Social media exploded instantly after those words left Teofimo's mouth, with fans expressing everything from shock to sadness to disbelief that this could really be the end. However, before we get into the full retirement announcement and what it means, let's talk about what actually happened inside that ring that broke Teofimo Lopez so completely. The fight itself was a masterclass performance from Shakur Stevenson, who showed exactly why he's considered one of the most skilled boxers on the entire planet right now.
What's millions if you could make hundreds?
Of millions?
Yeah.
You believe you can make hundreds of millions outside of boxing?
I believe so, yes, I do.
Well, I understand where you would get your confidence.
From the opening bell, Shakur controlled the pace, the distance, and the narrative of the fight with his superior boxing ability and defensive wizardry that left Teofimo frustrated round after round. Teofimo came out aggressive in the first 3 rounds, trying to pressure Shakur and land the big shots that his team had been promising all week during the build-up. But Shakur made him miss repeatedly, landing clean counter shots that snapped Teofimo's head back and scored points with the judges, who were clearly impressed by the precision. By round 4, you could see the frustration building in Teofimo's body language as nothing he tried was working against Shakur's defensive brilliance and ring IQ.
Oh, I'm very happy. The name of the game in boxing is hit and don't get hit. I'm a master of it. I didn't get hit, and I hit the guy more than he hit me, so it was a great performance for me. I'm happy with it.
Sources sitting ringside said you could hear Teofimo's corner pleading with him to stay patient and wait for his opportunities instead of forcing the action recklessly. Round 6 was particularly brutal for Teofimo as Shakur landed a beautiful 3-punch combination that hurt Lopez and had him holding on for dear life against the ropes. The Madison Square Garden crowd erupted as Shakur showed a killer instinct that many critics claimed he didn't possess, going for the finish and landing bombs on a hurt Teofimo. Somehow Lopez survived the round, but his face was already showing the damage from Shakur's accurate punching, and his eyes looked desperate for answers that weren't coming. The middle rounds from 7 through 9 were complete domination from Shakur Stevenson, who is now fighting with supreme confidence and making Teofimo look ordinary.
Well, Shakur, congratulations. Biggest fight of your career, and you come up with looked like the finest performance of your career. Was that the performance you were looking for?
Nah, I came in here to prove a point. It wasn't the performance I was looking for because I came in here trying to prove a point. I was trying to
Every
fight.
time Lopez tried to mount any offense, Shakur would shut it down with perfect timing, superior footwork, and counterpunching that scored points and damaged Teofimo's confidence. One ringside observer later described it as watching a chess master playing against someone who just learned the rules, with Shakur being 3 steps ahead mentally. Round 10 saw Teofimo make one final desperate push, throwing everything he had left in the tank, trying to land that one knockout shot that could change everything. He connected with a few decent shots that got the crowd excited for a moment, but Shakur weathered the storm and came right back with his own combinations. The final 2 rounds were honestly hard to watch for Teofimo Lopez fans as their fighter, looked completely defeated both physically and mentally, while Shakur cruised to victory.
My opponent was a hell of an opponent. He came in here, he pushed me to another level. He made me make adjustments in there, he made me think a little bit. And I had to show y'all that I'm a dog too. Y'all keep saying that I'm a runner, I'm pillow-fisted, so I kind of stood there in the pocket.
By the time the final bell rang, everyone in Madison Square Garden knew what the decision would be, and Teofimo knew it, too, based on the look of devastation on his face. The scorecards came back 118 to 110, 117 to 111, and 119 to 109, all in favor of Shakur Stevenson in what was clearly a one-sided beatdown disguised as a competitive fight. Shakur celebrated with his team while Teofimo stood in his corner looking absolutely crushed by the reality that his best wasn't good enough on the biggest stage.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, it was a great performance, man. He came in with a game plan. He didn't let up.
The post-fight interview in the ring was brief and uncomfortable, with Teofimo giving short answers and clearly wanting to leave the spotlight as quickly as possible. But it was the later interview backstage that really showed just how broken Teofimo was by this loss and what was going through his mind in those devastating moments. Sitting in the interview room with his face still marked up from the fight, Teofimo opened up in a way we've never seen from him before about his future. Lopez began by talking about the fight itself, saying, "Shakur was the better man tonight. He executed his game plan perfectly and I couldn't figure him out. Give him credit." The humility in that statement shocked people because Teofimo has always been known for his brash confidence and refusal to give opponents much credit, even in defeat.
When Teofimo Lopez said, "Listen, everyone knows I won this fight," 90% of the people here were cheering for Lopez coming in. They all booed him after he said that.
But then Teofimo's tone shifted dramatically as he started talking about what this loss means for his career and his life moving forward beyond boxing. With his voice cracking slightly, Lopez continued, "I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I've sacrificed everything for boxing. My childhood, my relationships, my body, everything." You could see the emotion building as Teofimo reflected on all the years of grinding, all the hard training camps, and all the physical punishment his body has absorbed. He went on to explain, "I thought I had what it takes to be the best. I really believed I could beat anyone when I'm at my best. But tonight showed me the truth." That brutal honesty about facing his limitations as a fighter was painful to watch, especially for fans who have followed Teofimo's journey from the beginning.
So that didn't shock me. By the way, I don't think he was badly hurt with the first knockout. I think what he was more hurt by was realizing this little motherfucker's coming out there and winning round after round, outlanding him. He knew by the middle of that fight he had to turn something around. And by the way, he gave it a little bit more early in the second half of the fight.
The interviewer asked if this was just the disappointment talking or if he was serious about walking away from boxing at only 27 years old with so much left to accomplish. Teofimo looked directly into the camera and said the words that will define this moment in boxing history for years to come. "I'm retiring. This was my last fight. I have nothing left to prove and nothing left to give. I need to think about my family and my health now." The room went completely silent as everyone processed what they just heard, with the interviewer visibly shocked and struggling to ask follow-up questions. Social media absolutely erupted the moment those words were spoken, with boxing fans around the world flooding Twitter, Instagram, and every platform with reactions.
If Teo is Gordo and not just coming in trying to hammer damage, if he's Gordo, you got something going. There's gonna be a lot of IQ up in there. Yo, I mean, which one of the two beat Loma? Which one of the two beat Josh Taylor?
One fan immediately tweeted, "No way Teofimo is serious about retiring. He's just emotional right now. Give him a few weeks and he'll be back talking about comeback fights." Another passionate supporter wrote, "This is heartbreaking to watch. Teofimo gave us so many great moments. If this is really the end, thank you for everything, champ." The debate instantly began about whether this retirement announcement is real or just an emotional reaction to a tough loss that Teofimo will eventually walk back. Many boxing experts and analysts were quick to share their thoughts on social media about what this means for the sport if Teofimo actually follows through. ESPN boxing analyst Timothy Bradley posted, "Teofimo is one of the most talented fighters of this generation. I hope he takes time to think before making this decision final."
Teofimo Lopez
from a degree, he does have a high boxing IQ as well. He does. I mean, he was able to deal with Lomachenko. He was able to deal with Taylor and other guys. You know, he does possess a high boxing IQ. He has that explosiveness or that elite.
Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach chimed in with his perspective, saying, "Losing a big fight is crushing, but retiring at 27 is crazy. The kid has at least 5 to 10 more years of elite fighting in him." However, some people close to Teofimo's camp weren't entirely surprised by the retirement talk, based on conversations they had with him leading up to this fight. One insider who spoke to media members revealed, Teo told people close to him that if he lost to Shakur, he might be done. He put everything into this camp and this fight. That information adds credibility to the idea that this retirement isn't just an emotional outburst, but something Teofimo had actually been considering as a real possibility. During the post-fight interview, Teofimo also opened up about the physical toll that boxing has taken on his body over the years of amateur and professional competition.
But I'm leaning towards Teofimo. Okay. Just because I like him. I like him more. He's a good friend of mine. Okay. And then
Lopez explained with visible pain, "My hands hurt every day. My back hurts. My head hurts. I'm 27, but I feel like I'm 40 because of all the damage I've taken. These health concerns are absolutely legitimate and represent a reality that many fighters face, but few are willing to talk about publicly while still active. The brain trauma from years of sparring and fighting is something that more and more fighters are taking seriously, especially younger fighters who have seen the long-term effects." Teofimo continued by discussing his family and how this loss and potential retirement will impact his relationship with his wife and young son. "My son is getting older. I want to be there for him. I want to be healthy for him. What's the point of being a champion if I can't remember his childhood?" That powerful statement resonated with many people who understand that there's more to life than boxing glory and championship belts on the wall.
He was the world champion. There is no comparison to Shakur's style and my son's style. Yeah. My son is more entertaining. You know what I'm saying? He has more, how you call it? He has more,
There's that impact there.
what do you call it when you have a lot of...
The emotional weight of the moment was clearly affecting everyone in the room, including hardened boxing media members who have covered thousands of fights. Teofimo's father, who has been his trainer throughout his career, was visibly emotional in the background and refused to comment when approached by reporters. The relationship between Teofimo and his father has always been complicated and intense, with both the best and worst moments of Teofimo's career involving his dad's influence. Shakur Stevenson, who was conducting his own victory interviews, was asked about Teofimo's retirement announcement and gave a respectful but honest response. Shakur stated, "I respect whatever decision Teo makes. This is a hard sport. If he feels like it's time to walk away, that's his choice, but he's a hell of a fighter." The graciousness in victory from Shakur stood in contrast to some of the trash talk we saw during the build-up, showing the respect that exists between warriors.
Granddad is focused, I'm focused, we all locked in on the task, but Teofimo Sr. is nowhere to be found. Last night he was in the lobby, drugged out, head over heels.
I don't gotta worry about that. You focusing on me, B.
Right now,
yes, you is.
he's emotional.
Yes, you is.
That's why he acting
That's why you clowning.
As news of the retirement spread, other fighters and boxing personalities began weighing in with their reactions and perspectives on what this means. Former opponent Vasily Lomachenko posted a message saying, "Teofimo is a true warrior. Whatever he decides, he should be proud of his career and accomplishments." Current lightweight champion Gervonta Davis tweeted, "Damn, I was hoping we could run it back one day. Respect to Teo for everything he's accomplished in this sport." The outpouring of support from fellow fighters shows how much respect Teofimo has earned despite some of the controversial moments and statements throughout his career. Boxing promoter Bob Arum, who has worked with Teofimo, released a statement saying, "I hope Teofimo takes time before making any final decisions about his future in boxing." The reality is that retirement announcements made immediately after devastating losses are often walked back once the emotions settle and the fighter has time to process.
He said he's the last fight with ESPN. Well, he's in no position to say that because Top Rank has an exclusive deal with ESPN, and he'll fight with whatever network we want to put the fight on.